how am I supposed to talk to these people? How am I supposed to deal with these people who are denying my humanity?
Just make them feel bad. This is literally like how racist attitudes were suppressed. Okay, listen, okay? Basically, like, most white people were racist as shit back in 1960. And then most of those people who went on to survive to 1980, 1990 were, at the very least, acting a lot less racist. How did society get so much less racist? It wasn't just young people being not racist. Older people also toned down their attitudes or changed their minds. Why? Because society became increasingly intolerant. That's why in cities, being racist is often like a massive faux pas. Like, you can lose your job, you can lose your friends, your family can cut you away. Like, if you're like a bigoted piece of shit in like an urban progressive environment, you can lose like a lot, which you deserve. Whereas if you live out in the sticks of Louisiana, it's the opposite. You can get socially maligned for not being racist enough. Shame and intolerance are tools God gave us, biologically inset tools. Guilt, shame, intolerance that we were given to discriminate against antisocial behavior. In the same way that you should feel that way towards people who are incredibly rude to wait staff, you know, you ostracize them because they're demonstrating that they're unfit to participate in society. They don't believe in the social contract. We must do the same for people who want to destroy the planet, like MAGA voters. You have to do that. You can't pussyfoot around it. You can't oh well, they're just looking for a voice to reach out. No, they're not, dude. They just like being hateful. They're not being earnest. They're all gleefully dishonest.
I think that in losing as badly as we have imperiled trans people terribly.
Yes.
So who's to blame for this? Is it, I agree. Is it Biden? Is it Kamala? Is it you for like spending your entire life espousing a losing narrative for politics? I don't like this weed bullshit. Like, again, notice how all of his language always obfuscates blame. The we, oh, it's all of our fault. Really? Was the left responsible for Biden and Kamala? Is that true? I don't know. I don't think we had a lot of say on that one, buddy.
But I think it is taking seriously that something we're doing is not working. I mean, I had Sarah McBride, who's the first trans member of Congress on the show. And, you know, we were talking about every single survey you can offer on like trans rights has gone in the wrong direction in the past couple of years.
He's not saying
shit. We've just begun to lose that argument terribly. And that has put people in real danger. So
No. You haven't lost that. I fucking hate this language. You haven't lost that argument, okay? The validity of trans women or women does not increase or decrease with public approval. It is not true in one country and then not true in the next country. If you're in the Netherlands, it is not true, and then if you go over to Saudi Arabia, it becomes untrue. Things that are true are true. That's it. We didn't lose the argument. What we did was that those positions became less popular because Democrats completely ceded ground on them. Every Democrat was a fucking woke lord back during the Trump administration. Then Biden took over and all of a sudden they clammed up. These issues were they were hot potatoes, you know? You gave Republicans room to be discursive about them because you didn't fucking go after them after Jan 6.
What are we going to do living here in sort of two types of disagreement, right? One with a right that where Charlie Kirk has become sort of the center of it, right? He's not unusual for the MAGA coalition. He's a sort of uniting force within it and the kind of things he believed and the way he did his politics.
Yeah, he was a Nazi.
And then two, what are we going to do? Like, how are we going to be here with people who are like halfway there, right? What does it mean to be in this political community?
Do you think it would get tiring repeating this shit like over and over and over again for a decade? Aren't we bored of it now? What do we do about these people? We fucking beat them. What do you want? We beat them politically. We overwhelmed them. We make them feel horrible for being horrible. They are bad and they should feel bad. It's not that difficult.
Together. What do you think about that question?
About how to live together?
Yeah.
Well, first of all, I think it's a truth.
We don't live together. We're not going to live together. They're going to kill us. The president said he authorizes the military to use full force in a deployment to the city of Portland. He said that just the other day. He signed a national security presidential directive including things like extremist gender ideology, parentheses, believing in trans people, as sign of domestic terroristic activity worthy of being investigated by anti-terror FBI investigative teams. There is no living with this. It's fascism. It's a fire. It will burn all of us out. These are not like positions we have to tolerate living next to. They just have to be beaten. You're right, they'll still have centrist moments while we're all in the camps. Well, MAGA's pretty permissive of turncoats. I have a feeling Ezra Klein would take like $50K a year and a job as a camp guard if it meant staying out of one. That's true, but I don't even think the majority of MAGA voters support those policies. Okay, and they voted for the guy and support the guy who does. Their stupidity isn't really my fault or my problem. I don't know what to... Yeah, they don't consciously support it, but like, I don't know. This seems kind of like on them a little bit. I reckon at least half of Trump voters are winnable low-info median voters, not Kirkites. You don't understand. The median Trump voter is a Kirkite because what we're describing here is like a low IQ hodgepodge of emotionally charged messaging disguised as like a political movement. You know? It's not, it doesn't matter. The most ardent fascists are often the people who know the least about it. Like, their level of knowledge on the topic is irrelevant. And they're not going to be won over because what they care about is the emotions, not the policies. They don't really care about, like, the technical necessity of a bunch of different fascist policies. What they care about is the feeling that it gives them, the feeling that they're part of this movement. So you have to break that feeling. You have to break that movement. But you're not going to argue with them on policy. Have you seen any on-the-street interviews with Trump voters? None of them have any idea what's going on. Like, they live in a different type of world. Yeah, you can show them, like, directly factual information. Hey, Trump lies about everything, not in like an ambiguous, you know, oh, if you look at it or you listen to the experts, but like just flatly lies about the numbers and the sources that he cites. He just makes shit up all the time. And if you get down to it, all of them will be like, yeah, well, I think he shouldn't have done that, but they're still going to vote for him for his third term. There are winnable people that exist. Buddy, we're 10 years into the MAGA movement. We have to move on. We have to wake up and smell the roses and move on, okay? This shit is not getting... These people are not susceptible to reason. Come on. What haven't you ever heard you can't reason a person out of a position they didn't reason themselves into? They like MAGA because it makes them feel powerful. So they have to be made to not feel powerful. That's it. That's it. That's all there is to it. How do you account for Trump Mamdani voters then? Because Mamdani gives them that feeling of being powerful. This is exactly what I'm talking about. There are a lot of people who, okay, I'll tell you this much. Nobody is a Trump Mamdani voter because they like the policies of Trump, but also the policies of Mamdani. 0%. Zero of them. They like the feeling and the feeling. They might lie about the policies because admitting it's about feelings would make them seem stupid, but they are stupid. To be a Trump Mamdani voter is to be stupid. Low IQ, easily manipulable, like clay in the head, you know. They just like the feeling. They like populism. They like the feeling that they're included. They like the mobilizing narrative. They don't really care what happens to the country. But that's exactly what I'm talking about. This isn't about moving them over, like reasoning with them. That's futile. It's about moving them over by giving them a stronger con to mobilize around. And by disincentivizing the con they were with previously, you know, making it more socially intolerable.